This week, we will moving forward to do our GUI within JavaFX. So the first video, let's talk about the fundamental to run a JavaFX GUI. JavaFX is a new framework to develop Java GUI. Actually, before we already give you some GUI example in Java, but if you remember, we use the swing. So now in this chapter and the next 3 weeks, we were using the JavaFX. That's a new GUI from Java. So they will get us the better look from compared to the swing before. We know Java is very popular for the GUI. So actually start from the Java beginning in the late 1990, we start with the GUI is AWT. Then afterward, we do the swing. So that's the beginning for our semester. Remember, we ask you to have the J option pane. So you can have the information message dialog or the confirmation dialog. That's what we use for swing. But now this week and the next couple weeks, we will using JavaFX. So before when we saw the GUI, we're using the AWT. So that's the abstract window toolkit. So at that time, if you want to see the example, you can think about when you first start using the Windows 95 or the Windows 2000. So your GUI is just like, as we say the AWT, they have the confirmation box, but the GUI actually is very plain. So afterward, we use the swing. But since Java 8, they released the new GUI we call JavaFX. So from now on, we will see how we will do the JavaFX. This week, we will do some fundamental graphic using JavaFX. So next week, we will respond to the user input. So that's what we call you can write event-driven programming. So then 2 weeks later, we will see how to use the animation, how we will do the animation using JavaFX. The first thing, if we want to use JavaFX, you need to set up your environment correctly. So one thing is, I want you to check which JDK you are using. So then you have different instructions you need to follow. So these 2 slides also is in your syllabus. So the first thing you need to check what the Java SE or Java JDK you are using in your Eclipse. So how to check on that? You can open your Eclipse. So did you see your Eclipse like here, right? So you can go over to from your project name. So under your project name, you have source. So remember you have source folder. So to see your JDK, you can see JavaFX JDK. So click on that, you can see which Java you are using. So for this example, for mine, this example from this Eclipse, I use the JDK 8. Or you can see from your JRE. So here is basically your system library has. So they will show you, if you see it here is Java SE 1.8. That's mean you are using JDK 8. If you are using JDK 8, please follow the first pages in the PowerPoint file or the first half from the syllabus. We show you how to set up the JavaFX environment. You can go over the YouTube video we show you, or you can follow the step one by one. But either way, they will install the JavaFX, add the JavaFX in your repository for JDK 8. But I know actually most of you have the newer JDK version. So if your JDK version is from JDK 11, 12, so any JDK 11 and above, I want you to go over these 2 videos. So these 2 videos, you can follow the instruction. And here I also give you a couple steps. The most important thing is after JDK 10 and JDK 11, JavaFX actually is not bundled with our JDK. So that's why you need to download the JavaFX jar files separately. So that's why you need to see. So here, the instruction actually is show you how to download your JavaFX jar file. So this jar file actually, when you click on this link, they will go to external link, and which jar file you need to install is according to your operating system. So for the Windows version, you need to install the Windows version jar file. For the Mac system, you need to install the jar file from the Mac system. So after you download that jar file, you need to extract the zip file. So you need to know where the folder you are saved in your local system. So then here, actually in these two videos, we show you how you will add your JavaFX jar file into your JRE system library. So then you can follow the instruction to do that. For my computer, for this computer, I'm recording this video. I don't have the JDK 12. So I will show you the screenshot later from my other computer to show you how you will see your JDK 11 and above. So if you are JDK 11 and above, you need to using this instruction to add your JavaFX correctly. So after you have your JavaFX jar file add into your jar system library, so then you need to create a new Java project, and you need to select the Java SE as your, depends on your version, as your project JRE. So this time is the first time you will config a module info.java file. So the same thing, this one will be here in the video we show you. Or this module info Java file, I have the example under our demo file. But one thing is you need to see how you will replace your package name. So then later, let me take a screenshot. I will show you after you config this one correctly, how will your Java project will look like. So here's the screenshot if you have JDK 11 and above installed from your computer. After you add your JavaFX, they will look like this for your project. So like earlier we said, your JRE library should be 11 or 11 plus. So mine is JDK 12. So I choose JavaFX 13 because that's the latest version. So that's all the Java file I add into the library. So the Java project still can have your Java project name, but you need to include your module info Java file. This one we never used that before, but for the JDK 11 above, we need the module info Java file. They will look like this. I have a similar example in the demo file. So you will see the most important thing is, in order to run your JavaFX file correctly, all the package, if you have your JavaFX source file, you need to export those package. So for me, for this Java project, I have the week 10 JavaFX, week 11, 12, and even my GUI demo, and also some other, the collection, chapter 20. I have different package for my different week on the source file. So all those package, they need to explore here. After you require to include all those JavaFX library. So that's the example you can run your JavaFX file under JDK 11 and above. Okay, after you are done, you can start running your JavaFX file. So from the canvas under our module 10, you will see many source files I provide you under the module 10. So the first one, I just want you to download my javafx.java file. That's a very simple JavaFX file. We will see, can you run that program correctly? So no matter you use the JDK 8 or JDK 11 or 12, if your environment set correctly, after you import this myjavafx.java file, you should be able to run that. So I'm using my example. For this computer, I have JDK 8. So then you see here, I have my JavaFX. So the JavaFX, I just want you to install this one. So you just see, then you do the run. So we have our my JavaFX example. So we just run. So you should be able to see the GUI like this. So this one is very simple JavaFX file we want to show you. We only add one button in the middle, say OK. So let me explain to you how we will implement JavaFX file. All the JavaFX file, they are inherited from the application. So that's why any class, if you want to implement a JavaFX GUI, you need to extend from the application. So from this application, in the main function, you will see they are very simple. They just have one line, application.launch. So in the main function, you just have this one. They will automatically to launch your application. So this one actually is the main function usually we'll see in our previous Java file. But actually, if you are extend from the application, even you don't have this main method, they will just run correctly because the application know they will invoke and launch the application. So under this application, actually for each Java GUI, JavaFX GUI is an application. So in this application, you have one method you need to override. We call the star. So this star method, they will passing a parameter called stage. So that's the fundamental, the place we will have for the JavaFX GUI. So we back to our lecture file. Let me explain to you how they look like. So for all the JavaFX GUI, they kind of like you have one stage here. So this stage, how you want to display your GUI? One stage, one scene. You see, just like the theater, if you want to have a play, you need to have the scene on the stage. So one stage, one scene. So have this scene, right? For each scene, they will have one layout. So they have one collection. So then on this collection, you can add multiple GUI components. So that's why here, when you see your extend your application for your JavaFX GUI, you need to override the star method. So this star method will have a stage. So each stage, they have one scene. So that's why after you have your stage, right, in your start method, you need to set your stage title. You need to set the scene. So then you need to show. So that's why we can show the stage here. So for each stage have one scene. So the scene here, you can specify your length and the width. So here the width and the height, actually they call it pixel. So then this one, the parent is earlier I told you. Each scene, you have one collection. We just think about that as a collection or a layout. So they have one collection can contain multiple components for different GUI. So after you see that each component you have, so now we can go back to see our source file. Like earlier I said, when I display my GUI, actually I just have simple GUI. My stage title is my JavaFX. So then I only have one OK button. So that's why in my star method, my stage I call primary stage. So then my primary stage, I set my title. I set the scene. So the scene here, actually I create a new scene. So this scene, actually I only have one button. So later I will show you all the GUI components, what their structure. So this button actually is the parent. Earlier we showed you the object. So here the 200 and 250, just the width and the height for this GUI when they start beginning, how they will display. So then this one actually just an OK button. Okay, so then you display your first GUI now.